Nicely done. Hips again, super low. Good back arch, Danielson. Oh!
Disco
my
This
goodness.
is your main event. This bout is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit and is a Gold League match in the Continental Classic Tournament. Approaching the ring from Auckland, New Zealand, weighing 222 pounds, Switchblade Jay White.
Good to see you back with us here, Danielson.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
And 1 week ago, Switchblade Jay White picking up his first 3 points here in the Continental Classic, taking out El Toro Blanco Rouge. Rouge picking up his first 3 points earlier tonight. But Jay White, you see, using the referee's distraction, scoring the low blow. Obviously, didn't sit well with Rouge, but the official didn't see it. But we all saw Jay White pick up his first 3 points.
Think on your feet type of wrestler. That's what Jay White is. I love it.
House. And his opponent from Tacoma, Washington, weighing 220 pounds, Swerve Strickland.
It's nice to see Nana's able to walk.
Nana still feeling the effects from Hangman Adam Page, but Swerve Strickland kicked off the Continental Classic last week, defeating Jay Lethal in the match that opened the tournament. An important 3 points for Swerve Strickland, Taz.
Yeah, these two men had a hell of a battle. It was nip and tuck throughout, Danielson. But somehow, some way, you know what, man? Strickland able to capture that W and those points.
That Swerve stomp just so dangerous. And we questioned Swerve's condition task coming in to the Continental Classic, coming off that brutal Texas death match with Hangman Page at Full Gear just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Dan. It was brutal. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, that was the most brutal wrestling match I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if you feel the same way, Taz, but
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it.
It was nuts. It was tough to watch, tough to call. Two guys that just, the hatred was crazy, the violence was nuts. But right now, this is about the Continental Classic and grabbing 3 points if possible, whoever you are here.
And remember, 20-minute time limit for all Continental Classic matches. Should this match go past the top of the hour, we will stick with the action all the way. You will see the end of this match here tonight on Dynamite.
And see, Jay White is the person who I think would be the most likely to go to a draw in this tournament because he's such a defensive wrestler. I think in some ways that helps him because it gives him longevity in these tournaments, but with these tournament matches only being 20 minutes, the 20-minute time limit, I think sometimes that'll hurt him.
Jay White, the most experience of any competitor in a round-robin tournament setting. Multiple-time entrant in G1 Climax tournaments, now driving the shoulder into the midsection.
Yeah, he has experience. He knows how to protect himself in the middle of these tournaments.
Well, going to the outside, I didn't expect Jay to do that, but it's working right now, Danielson. He's got Swerve where he needs him.
Yeah, but I think he knows, like all of us, or at least he thinks. Oh, Swerve turned it around. I think he thinks like the rest of us. Swerve, there's no way his body can be healed after that Texas death match.
Right. And he was able to capture a win last week against Lethal. We just documented that, meaning Swerve. But still, as you know, Danielson, you know this two-edged scalp. It takes time to recover from a match like we witnessed at Full Gear.
Now you see Swerve with that right shoulder taped up as he spills over the barricade.
Yeah, and Swerve is typically a fast starter, so he's normally somebody who will go right after you. He's a very offensive-minded wrestler versus Jay White being a very defensive wrestler. But so I'm really impressed with Jay White here, just going for it.
Yeah, Jay White victories in 92% of his AEW singles matches. And as we mentioned, coming into this match, tournament experience, coming into the Continental Classic with round-robin tournament experience, he knows how to conserve his energy, how to pace himself.
Going after that shoulder that's wrapped up, that's taped up. Smart offense by Jay White.
Yeah, one of the things I'm impressed with Jay White is how explosive he is. You look at his sinewy frame, and he chops as hard as anybody I've ever seen.
And we touched on this a little bit this past Saturday at Collision. Action in the Blue League kicked off in the Continental Classic. Claudio Castagnoli earning 3 points with a victory over Daniel Garcia. And Brody King scoring a modest upset against Eddie Kingston. I say it's a modest upset because King has only experienced singles action in less than 20% of his AEW singles matches, primarily a tag team or a trios competitor. And so Brody King, perhaps a dark horse to win it in the Blue League. Brian, you'll have to face up against Eddie Kingston this Saturday and against Brody King at some point in the future in the Blue League.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited for both of those matches, but man, I am so impressed with Swerve here.
Yeah, he had to turn the tables somehow on Jay White, and he did. That guy in the front row is getting, and his buddy's right, he's got old Jay White there.
Yeah, I think Swerve has really turned the corner. You know, it seemed like there was that moment at All In when Sting put him in the casket, and everything after that has really changed for Swerve. He's beat Hangman twice now. Now he's in the Continental Classic. He's got 3 points. He's against Jay White in the main event here on Dynamite.
And
oh my goodness!
To the spine of Jay White. And I mean, the thing you have to remember, too, is Hangman Adam Page, former AEW World Champion, former AEW World Tag Team Champion. And those are huge accomplishments. And so for Swerve to pick up 2 consecutive victories over him, that is a tremendous amount of momentum heading into this tournament.
What a man like Hangman Page with the accolades you just laid out, I completely agree, Excalibur. Now, Strickland, he took a little too long getting through those ropes, and he got caught.
The DDT plants Swerve Strickland. And we are going to stick with this action in picture-in-picture. Swerve, Switchblade for 3 points in the Continental Classic.
Strong chop right there by Jay White. He's mocking the Who's House deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm just so impressed with his explosiveness.
Yeah, you know, you talked about his how strong his chops are, Jay White. You know, and I know you know this, Danielson, like, you don't have to be a big, heavy guy to have a strong chop. It's about quickness of the hands and being heavy-handed.
And it's also about rotational speed of your hips.
Yeah, hips.
And people don't take that into account. That's what the main reason I think Jay White has such effective chops.
Yeah, and I equated that, I think it was last week, I don't remember, to a baseball bat, like a baseball player swinging a bat, and how he brings his hips around, or a quarterback throwing a football.
Oh! The backbreaker by Swerve on the floor.
What's he gonna do here?
Swerve likes to come in. That running boot.
Oh my goodness.
Turning Jay White inside out. You know, we talked about the tournament experience of Jay White in the G1 Climax tournament, the round-robin tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But Brian, Jay White, a product of the New Japan Dojo, he was in his formative years, he was ringside, he was watching, he was a second at ringside during those G1 Climax tournaments and soaking up that experience like a sponge.
Absolutely, and he's definitely a student of the game. And he's one of those guys who's able to wrestle without getting hurt.
That may not be the case for Swerve Strickland there.
It's definitely not the case for me.
I thought you were wearing that eye patch for fun. Oh, Swerve coming down on that right shoulder for a second time. Jay White targeting that heavily taped shoulder, rolls in to break the count. Referee Bryce Remsburg.
Oh, man, that shoulder, he attacked it right to those steel steps, Jay did, to Swerve.
Now the far leg hooked by Switchblade Jay White, but Swerve able to break free.
Smart getting that arm bar. Looks like he's got himself a hammerlock there. Maybe going, he's going to overhook with his leg.
Not giving Swerve any breathing room after the kick out, immediately transitioning into a submission hold.
Yeah, he's got it bent all sorts of different ways. You know, one of the things that I'll say about Swerve is that he goes through something like that Texas death match. Like I said, the most brutal match I've ever seen. And the only thing that he has taped up is his shoulder. So you know his shoulder's got to be hurting.
Yeah, that's a good point, good observation, and it shows how tough he is.
We are back live, our main event here on Dynamite. The final Gold League Continental Classic match of the evening. Remember, 20-minute time limit in all tournament matchups. If this action goes past the top of the hour, we will stick with it until the conclusion of this match.
Jay White had double overhooks there, now lost one. Swerve's fighting out. Oh, by the back of the hair, right in front of the ref.
Swerve! Hard shots from Strickland.
Might be going German suplex here.
Swerve got dropped on the back of his head. That Saito suplex, the low arc on it by Jay White.
And the hips was so below his opponent. Jay White got his hips real deep. Now an over and under throw right there.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And not only landing the way that he is on his neck and head,
By Jay White, Swerve able to kick out.
but also landing on that shoulder.
Yeah, as we saw in picture-in-picture, Taz, Jay White concentrating a large portion of his offense on that right shoulder, that taped-up right shoulder of Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, and it's been a great game plan by Jay White. But you got to be careful. We know it's well documented. Strickland is resilient.
And Swerve intercepts the chop, goes underneath the hammer lock. Whoa! Jay White coming down weird on his left elbow.
Good power and strength by Strickland.
Yeah, he's incredibly strong. I was in the ring with him just a little over a month ago, and I could not believe his physical strength, the ability to just manhandle somebody, and especially with the way he moves.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience too, and like to the point of his movements, his quickness. He's got quick hands too.
And yeah, look how Swerve is changing levels on Jay White. Now rolls in, looking for the flatliner, but instead Uranage avoided by Swerve Strickland. Swerve elevates up and over, grabbed him by the waistband, rolled Jay White back now into the Tijeras.
Oh my goodness, Swerve's ability to move is unbelievable.
Such fluid offense by Swerve Strickland. The flatliner rolls into Jay White.
And the strength!
And the vertical suplex. Swerve, lateral press, cover, and Jay White able to kick out.
Yeah, he didn't get the pin there, but I love the way Swerve covered him there. He had a lot of weight on both shoulders of Jay White.
Tremendous creativity by Swerve Strickland. And remember, we saw Jon Moxley and Roosh both pick up 3 points earlier the night. Jon Moxley sitting at 6, Roosh at 3. Coming up this Saturday at Collision, action in the Blue League continues. Bryan Danielson faces Eddie Kingston, Andrade El Idolo. Daniel Garcia, both men looking for their first points in the tournament, plus Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, deadlocked at 3 points apiece. Who will leave Erie, Pennsylvania? Who will leave Collision on top of the Blue League? Oh, Jay White, Swerve went down to the crown of his head.
Tough landing right on top of the beam there. Now maybe a German for sure.
How incredible are these two men?
Swerve Strickland throwing everything into that. Let's take a look at the power of Swerve once again.
Yeah, you can see right here with that line, that short clothesline, good explosivity in the feet, bringing his hips into it also.
Brian, you spoke about the rotational ability of the hips of Switchblade Jay White. Swerve rotating his hips to land that discus lariat with a plum.
Yeah. See, I don't know if Jay White wants to butt heads with Swerve here. After everything we saw from Swerve at Full Gear, he will not back down.
Yeah, the amount of punishment Swerve Strickland was able to absorb was, nearly inhuman. And now to be back competing in this round-robin tournament.
I tell you right now, you do not want to go toe-to-toe with Swerve.
But Jay White was doing so, and Jay White got dropped.
He might have caught him on a button, boys. He dropped.
But also with Jay White, he's such a great defensive wrestler, you don't know if he's just playing possum.
That could be.
Could be the rope-a-dope, perhaps, by Jay White.
He went down quick.
Shot block to the knee.
Yeah, back, the crook of the knee on that left knee. Beautifully done.
See, the way he went down, I kind of suspected, yeah, it was a hard shot, but I do think he was playing possum.
Uranage, the far leg hooked in. And remember, 20-minute time limit. There's, I believe, just under 9 minutes left in this match. Should we go past the top of the hour, we will stick with the action until we see the conclusion of this Gold League matchup between Jay White and Swerve Strickland, the Continental Classic.
Might be going for that sleeper suplex Excalibur. He's got him hooked for it.
Back elbow by Swerve. Swerve, now into the Wakikatame, the Fujiwara armbar.
Jay White is just so smart. Every single thing he does.
Now right hands hammering down on the shoulder. Swerve could be on the verge of tapping out here.
And the more Jay White lifts his hips to the sky, the tougher that hold is, that armbar.
Yeah, Swerve is able to bend his elbow a little bit. That's what's saving him right here.
Yep.
And Swerve rolls through, but Jay White gets flattened out. And now Swerve.
Gotta get wrist control of that other hand. He's got.
Oh my goodness.
Swerve could be thinking snapping the arm on Jay White.
Oh, this is bad.
Trying to yank that shoulder out of socket.
Oh, he's gonna put his boot on the crook of the arm. I'm telling you, that's what he's gonna do. I can see how he's based.
And Swerve,
oh my goodness!
Kill shot.
was ugly.
I would be shocked if Jay White doesn't have a torn rotator cuff after that.
Or a torn bicep.
And Swerve Strickland, you saw that hint of a smile on his face. He knows that Jay White is now compromised. But Jay backs him to the corner. And
nice arm drag. Good way to get out of that. You got a half Nelson on the arm, dragged out of it.
oh, wait a second. This is what we saw with Roosh last week. Oh, Swerve had a counter.
I think Swerve saw it too.
Swerve knew it was coming. And now a backbreaker. Oh. And that's the trouble with relying on offense in this tournament setting that you've used before. It gives your opponent a chance to anticipate the house call.
Jay White might be out, guys.
Yeah, when he comes with that kick from behind, there's no way to counter that.
And now, perched on the top, Strickland thinking swerve, stomp. Jay White dazed, on target.
He's got him.
Swerve.
He's got him.
No, Jay White.
Oh, that was impressive. Whoa, that was impressive.
Jay White salvaging 3 points at least for another few moments.
You have to be impressed with Jay White's resiliency here.
That was really impressive, really tough to do.
That swerve stomp, one of the most dangerous moves in the arsenal of Swerve Strickland. And Jay White able to withstand it, but can he withstand much more?
Shows how important this Continental Classic is to these two athletes right now in the Gold League.
Yeah, both men level at 3 points each. And, oh wait, Blade Runner! Blade Runner, but Swerve's momentum took him underneath the bottom rope.
He's out of bounds. He's off the field.
That may be Strickland's only saving grace.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional or if that was just happened. Just by luck.
Either way, Jay White returns him to the ring. Looking for a pin. Swerve trying to stay off his back.
Smart. It's smart for him to stay off his back there.
But in doing so, in giving up his back, he almost put himself in position for that sleeper suplex.
Schoolboy here, schoolboy.
The roll-up is tight, but Swerve able to break free.
Jackknife, got it!
The jackknife is in! But Jay White looking for Blade Runner again. Swerve floats behind.
Got a half in there.
Swerve likes to use that JML driver from that position. I'm sure that fact was not lost on Jay White. Able to counter
15
out.
minutes down, 5 remain.
And there you heard the call from Justin Roberts. 5 minutes left in this Continental Classic match. And this is where the clock becomes an issue. Because, oh, sleeper suplex, Swerve got planted.
He's been looking for it most of the match, and Jay White got it.
The Blade Runner, no. Swerve counters, rolls him up. He's got him hooked tight, and 3. Swerve did it!
The winner of this match, Swerve Strickland.
Impressive roll counter right there from Strickland. That was nicely done, man. That was slick.
Cerebral wrestling by Swerve Strickland here tonight in our main event, Brian.